Hello Icewing Nation, this is Frostbite the Icewing, and I decided with my new speed paint that I would be doing a bit of commentary to explain why I was doing the things that I was doing. So I decided for the speed paint to do Anemone and Tamarin in honor of Pride Month, and I decided with Anemone's design, I kind of have a fixed design that I normally use for her, but I decided to switch that up and make her look slightly more like an axolotl, as you can see with the ears and their little things. I have no clue what those would be called. Are those antennae? I don't know. Moving on. The thickness and the brush that I used for the line art was Studio Pen in Procreate, and I used 12, though I did switch to 11 later on for the thicker line art, and I used 7 for the current line art. However, that's only for this character, as I do switch the size of the brush when I get to Tamarin. So I varied her frill slightly, contrary to what I normally use. I added a second little ridge, and I tried to do that second little ridge on the bottom frill. However, that did not work out as well as I'd like it to. With the color, I have a set colors that I use when doing Anemone, because Anemone is a character that I quite like drawing, because I like to mess around with her design. So I have a fixed set of colors that I normally use, even if they aren't really in accordance with what everyone else does. So one problem I did run into was overlapping colors, like with the horns, little axolotl antennae thing, I don't know what those are, and the frill, which were all the exact same shade of blue. Of course, that couldn't stand. So I decided to slightly change the color, making the horns slightly darker than both the antennae and the frill. As you can see with the wings in the background and the other horn, I had to do slight color changes because it didn't look realistic. My lighting source was supposed to be trying to come down on their faces, however, later I completely disregard that. With shading, I just take black and then turn my opacity on the layer to 25, however this one I used 19, and I decided that I want this character coming out of water, like splashing out of water. I don't know how to draw water, so it probably looks terrible. However, this was a learning experience, and in order to get the effect that I wanted, I decided to, well, I didn't really decide, I had to get rid of all of the outside, both on the thick and the thin layers, and then do the exact same thing, but reversed, and then I switched that down to a lower opacity to make it seem like you could see it through the water, which was, it was a pain. I'll just say that. Yet again, with the water, the little ocean, that really wasn't trying very hard. Now with Tamarin is not a character who I've drawn yet, which is really saddening because I really did want to draw her sooner. So when it came to her design, I don't have, like I said, I don't have a fixed design for her. However, I do have a Rainwing base that I did a while ago because I am planning on releasing some bases for people to use. I looked at her colors and I made them slightly less vibrant and just kind of lighter than they would normally be, because I wanted the first focus to be on Anemone and then to Tamarin. So every color of Tamarin's is like half lighter than it should be. There's probably a better way to explain that. However, this is just what we're going with. So also the line art for her was 7 for the thick parts and 3 for the thin parts. The color I used was gray, the complete middle tone. As for her shading, it was a bit more simplistic because there wasn't much I can do due to the fact that she's in the background. Of course, I had to add a bit of the ocean because it would not look natural with the small amount that I already did. And of course, I used some of the gray for that. Tried to mess around with the brushes to make it look slightly more realistic, but upon realizing that that doesn't really work with what I was doing, I kind of left that alone. Then I added the cloud in the background and the little sun, which I had a lot of fun with as kind of like an added bonus. Then I had to go through all the layers to figure out which one got rid of the 12 and the 7. So this is how it turned out. And please let me know in the comments if this is something that you enjoyed. Comment what you'd like to see next. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe. Hope you have a wonderful day/night.